Tea Vibes every Tuesday at 18 hours. Join the amazing Lungu as she hosts different guests on the show and talks about cross-cutting issues that capture both a youthful and older audience. So be part of the fun as we bring you heated topics that spark up a variety of opinions and debates, all meant to educate, entertain, and give you that good vibe on a Tuesday evening. Make a date. It's Tea Vibes, only on Sunshine TV. Tea Vibes every Tuesday at 18 hours. Join the amazing Lungu as she hosts different guests on the show and talks about cross-cutting issues that capture both a youthful and older audience. So be part of the fun as we bring you heated topics that spark up a variety of opinions and debates, all meant to educate, entertain, and give you that good vibe on a Tuesday evening. Make a date. It's Tea Vibes, only on Sunshine TV.
It is a Tuesday. We are glad to be back on your screens. It's been a moment. A lot is going on. We know what we are facing, all of us. So we have been looking for other sources of energy. And we got it. So we are here today. I am glad to be joined by Clarence. I don't know if I can call you my guest. Are you my guest?
Yeah, not necessarily. I'm not a guest.
Not at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so we have somebody from behind the cameras, now in front of the cameras. And right now, between the two of us, I think I'm the controller.
Okay.
Yes. So you are seated fine.
Very well.
And you are audible enough.
Yeah, I guess I am.
And you are ready?
Very ready.
That is great. I am Lungu, and today we want to discuss mental health. This is a serious issue.
Yeah, a very serious issue if you ask me.
And it affects everyone. We're talking about children, adolescents, adults. Mental health is important because we are talking about the state of your mind and your emotions, how you are doing psychologically, emotionally, and all these things, because they affect how we relate to those around us, how we even respond to things around us. Anything you'd want to share around mental health?
All right. So mental health necessarily deals with, I think, three major components when it comes to a human being. So it firstly starts with how you feel at that point and how you think, which also translates into how you are going to behave. That's
Right.
how it is. So it affects all aspects of our life, especially the social aspect, because you understand that when you feel a certain way or when you're thinking a certain way, then your behavior is channeled towards that certain direction and you may tend to behave differently. So for example, when you've got sad emotions, the emotional part or your emotional part is sad, and you have got maybe a bereavement or you're going through something that is just emotionally draining you, you understand that even the way you behave translates, even the way you're going to come out translates how your emotions are at that particular time. You know, I've come across people. You're greeting them, hey, how are you? They'll just answer you, do I look like I'm sick? You know what I mean?
Why are you asking me
like
that?
why are you asking me that? So you understand that people are going through a lot, and in as much as people are going through a lot, the way they tend to behave and the way they tend to come out is also affected because of maybe what they are thinking at that point, or maybe how they are feeling at that point. So that necessarily is what we can just say mental health is, just the wellness of the body, or rather the mental state of the person that encompasses their thoughts and their feelings that translates to their behavior.
That's great. I think you have really explained it all. And I've come across quite a number of posts, like even on Facebook, depending on what somebody has posted or what story is trending. I've noticed a lot of people comment to say, let's check on each other, let's take care of our mental health, because some of the things we see may look funny in our eyes, we may think somebody is just having fun, somebody is just
Yeah.
playing around,
Mhm.
but it actually talks about their mental health in that moment.
Very true.
But then we're talking about how somebody feels, what somebody is thinking,
Mhm.
which will determine how somebody is going to behave or how they will act or respond to certain situations.
Yeah.
Do you think we are doing much around each other, maybe in communities, in churches, in families, to help take care of each other's mental health?
That's really great. If you ask me, there's, I would say, too little that is being done, because I think the most that is being done is the part that actually is the part is actually harming us mentally. Like, our mental health is being harmed. Most of the things that are around us, most of the things that we see, most of the things that's just us in our surrounding, in our space, are those things that will trigger us to have mental health issues. And of course, there is a small portion of where people doing awareness of these issues and making people wanting to be aware of their mental health. But necessarily, to say on a larger extent, I would say a lot of things that are around us are those things that are actually causing us to have mental health problems.
Yeah. And I also think I do agree with you, but then the environment around, it's not just helpful,
Very true.
because you don't even know who to trust and who to run to, because sometimes people have run to people they expected to help them face whatever they are going through or overcome, or just have somebody to have a shoulder to cry on.
Yeah.
And then the moment the person leaves your side, you create stories around that. For you, it's breaking news and everything. And the moment that person gets to know or learn that you shared whatever they shared with you in confidence, you create more problems
Exactly.
for that person. And I pray that the humanity in us, the Ubuntu, will be revived. We come back to
Exactly.
that place where we just care about each other.
Yeah.
I can talk about a workplace, for example. So you notice this particular colleague that comes in looking low, like things are not okay around them. When you approach them, you should care about them genuinely.
Exactly.
Like, even when you talk to them, you're trying to find out what is going on with them. Go there with an intent to lighten the burden. Mental health issues affect all of us, because it is not because of maybe it may be negligence in one way or depending on the circumstance, but we are affected by different things. Others, it's grief, loss. They don't know how to handle a loss in terms of maybe a job, a business, grief in terms of losing a loved one, and all. Others, it's just about self-esteem. So
Yeah.
you come across a person that has never felt good about who
themselves.
they are, about themselves. So the best thing you can do when you meet a person, look for something good in them, so that
Yeah.
they know that regardless of what they're facing and what they're going through, there is good in them, and all.
That's
Yeah.
very true.
Maybe we can also just a little bit spend a bit of time to talk about causes of mental health breakdown. Yeah.
All right. So I really want to firstly pick it up from where you say a lot of things affect and trigger our mental health, and I heard you mention of the environment, which is one of the factors that actually affecting mental health. So we have got an environmental factor. The environmental factor comes in where somebody is at, the place you're at, the environment you actually keep also affects your mental health. That it affects it in both ways. It can either affect it positively or negatively. So when you're keeping when your environment is toxic, when we're talking about environment, we're talking about friends, we're talking about people around you, we're talking about events or things that are happening around your space. Those can trigger your mental health either positively or negatively. We can talk about conflict. We can talk about there's a lot of things. It's really our other environment I want to talk about is social media. Social media is our environment now.
It has just become a home.
It's like it's like a home that people would run away from realities and just want to be there. And the funny thing about that environment is this: people don't necessarily tell you exactly what you have to know. They'll tell you what you need to know. They don't tell you what you need to know. They'll tell you what you want to know. That's the problem. So in an instant where you feel you're feeling happy about yourself, here's how it's affecting you. You feel happy about yourself, you feel, oh, okay, I look good today, so let me capture this photo and take it to my environment. The wrong environment.
Wrong. You're looking good.
You're looking good, and you're convinced. This is we're talking about mental health. So you feel good about yourself. You're like, oh, I look good. Yeah, I look good. So you get to post. Maybe you put a caption. Good life. Somebody out there.
Happiness is free.
Yeah, happiness is free.
When somebody not just says he's not even happy.
Exactly. Now, somebody out there in your wrong environment just takes it and says, oh, okay. They would want to just say something different. Oh, that no, you're faking it, or there's just too much, and you would realize that triggers you differently.
It does.
You were feeling more excited when before you posted. Immediately you posted, the first comment just gets you off.
And it's how we don't take time to analyze the picture because it's you on the photo.
Yeah.
So for you are feeling, I'm looking good, I'm looking my best. And then the moment you post a photo, they begin to zoom.
People zoom.
From the shoes.
People zoom. People can zoom.
Until they look for something negative to make you feel, to bring it to a place where you don't care about how you feel about yourself, but you failed to take care of this little detail.
Exactly. And that environment on its own has affected us like negatively, like in a very, 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 very huge. It has created a very huge impact on us. You see, that environment translates with everything around us.
Oh yeah.
You'd realize this. There's also a biological factor that affects our mental health. So the biological factor is how I'm born. I've got a small body. I'm dark in complexion. So I am dark in complexion. I do not accept the fact that I am dark in complexion. I go on Facebook to my environment and I go check out somebody who looks, they're light. And then I begin to feel I am not enough. What do? I start looking for things that will make me look light. The wrong environment.
Oh yeah.
I want to talk about the environment is very, very important because this is where we spend most of our time from. And this has affected our mental health big time. You can go to the ladies, on the ladies part. You accept the fact that your body is not curved and shaped and cornered in all the angle. Accept some things and move on. But then you find, you're seeing this person who looks like, I don't know, at Botoya wine.
I don't know.
Yeah, so
it's something like that.
And then you find Coca-Cola. I don't know. I don't know. But you find you're not in that space. So instead of you just accepting the fact that you're not in that space, you want to now start stressing yourself. What do I do for me to do what? To be like them.
Oh yeah.
And now we see a lot of people are in different WhatsApp groups. Enhance your body, look like there is a lot
trying everything out there.
A lot of things that people are doing and they are not realizing that this is just affecting their mental health big time. The other factor that also affects our mental health apart from the environment and of course the biological aspect is the psychological aspect. Now the psychological aspect just comes in. This will trigger with what you're always thinking about. Your belief system also triggers your mental health. There are people that will mock you because of your religion. I've heard people but people would find reasons to just shake you as your belief system. If you would find people when you're going through things, they'll tell you, are you even a Christian anymore? You see? So you're at a point where you just want to post a photo and maybe you just felt like good. You felt
good about yourself.
Christian poster. People So the psychological aspect is affected. We also on the psychological aspect is also perception. Perception is really, really important. The way you view life and the way you perceive life is very important because it affects your mental health. I've heard people would tell you, that is their mindset. That is what they have just
That's what
put.
they have believed in.
Exactly.
And no matter what comes,
Yeah.
no matter what they face, that's where
Exactly.
their mindset.
So that negative notion translates into their behavior. You start you would agree with me that even when they are given money, the first thing that comes into their head is so they will do anything possible. That money you wouldn't even see. You wouldn't even see it. So not that they are not financially literate, or they're not. Sometimes it's just the perception of life and how it affects your mental health. So perception is very, very important. Also, we're talking about beliefs. We're talking about, there's just a lot. There's a lot. So
There is
there's
a lot.
on the psychological aspect. This has to literally trigger with how the person thinks at that point, at that particular point. So there are a lot of things that are affected, that affect our mental health, and those were just some of them: the psychological one, the physical, the environment, and of course the biological.
Yeah, so I would just like to just go a step back when you were talking about social media, because it's it has become a big part of our lives.
It
There-
is.
I know of people that have told me they have decided to stay away from Facebook. That's their decision. They feel their lives are better off away from all the negativities.
True.
But we are aware that there are people that are bringing good stuff. But here is the thing, like where the issue is. Social media is just as negative as the people you decide to follow and
Exactly.
engage with.
Exactly.
So if your mental health matters to you as an individual, you want to grow yourself, you want to become better, you want to do things different, you will make decisions and take steps that will guard your mind,
Exactly.
that will help you retire to bed every day feeling better and optimistic about the following day.
It's very true.
Sometimes the right way or the better way is boring.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then if your life matters to you, I think the boring will even become better than the fun, because even in let's talk a bit about content creators. So you want to attract following, you want to attract people, because people want to become famous. So your content creation will actually tell us if your mental health is in the right place or you are about to have a meltdown. So you change your appearance, like you were mentioning, you change your complexion, you do everything possible to change your shape. Nothing wrong with going to the gym and staying in shape, staying healthy, but not where you begin to make alterations, changes on your body just to fit a certain standard that society or the environment has set for you. So in as much as social media affects our mental health, you have a part to play as an individual.
Very
You
true.
can come up with boundaries. You can decide what you will follow, who you will listen to, who will inspire you, because
Yeah.
some of the people we call our inspirations out there,
They
man,
also need inspiration.
they are equally struggling. They actually also need help.
Yeah.
So for me, an inspiration will be somebody that has gone through what I'm going through. They overcame. They're at a different place, and I want to get inspiration to get to where they are.
Very true.
But most of the people that we follow, we can actually tell this one we should be together in a therapy
I
session.
tell you.
We should be together in a counseling session and all. So for the sake of your mental health, for the sake of you building up positive thoughts around your life every day, watch who you follow.
Very
Watch
true.
what you're listening to.
Very true.
Mind what you are watching, the people that are inspiring you. I've actually realized that the thoughts you go to bed with will determine the kind of mood
You wake up with.
and thoughts you will wake up with.
Very true.
If you go to bed feeling positive, feeling optimistic, you are just vibed up, you are looking forward to whatever you have to face the following day, you wake up better because your mind will keep that running. Even in your dreams, even in your sleep, you are imagining all these things happen. So how you spend your day will determine the kind of thoughts that you will go to bed with. And then it will have an effect on the thoughts that you wake up with for the following day. So we are responsible for our thoughts. We are responsible for our moods, I think. Sometimes things around us may try to push us here and there, but you have the right to, keep yourself in the right place. Just where
That's very true.
you're supposed to be. Yeah.
And the other thing I want to make mention is when you're dealing with mental health, the first thing is come to a place of realization. Just come to a place where you accept yourself. Before you accept anything else, come to a realization of yourself and accept yourself. This is going to help you big time because you're going to realize that there is a lot of things around you. The environment is throwing a lot of things at you. There is just too much. So if you do not know yourself, if you've got an identity crisis, this is where we see a lot of people, a lot of young people going through mental issues, and they're not even realizing these are mental issues.
Oh, yeah.
They're just cycling. It's like you're just in a ball of confusion, just twisting, and today you are this, tomorrow you are this, tomorrow you don't even have your own self.
True.
So the fact that you do not realize who you are and you do not accept who you are, it means any person or anything that is going to come in your life will shape you or change you, and that affects your mental health big time. Here is somebody who would come in your life and they will tell you, no, I don't like the way you smile.
How am I supposed to
And
change?
you really want to start changing because you want to please this person.
Oh yeah.
You've not reached at a point where you've accepted yourself. So you want acceptance from people, but then you've not even accepted your own self. Mental health is you're going to be stressed. You're going to be trying to fit, and you're going to always try to just do things to please people. But at the end of the day, you are not going to even achieve anything. You're just going to be stressed. There are people that are stressed. Because somebody is owning an iPhone 15 Pro Max,
Whoa,
you
lose your sleep.
that is you will literally lose your way. You lose your way.
You do whatever.
Anything possible that would take for me to have an iPhone 15 Pro Max. But then you're forgetting one thing. That 15 Pro Max, that's not the end of the iPhone. iPhone will still produce another one in the tomorrow.
I'm telling
so
you,
it means the more they are advancing, the more you are stressing and going to bed with feeling I'm not enough. The problem, one problem we have is we want to always validate ourselves with external things.
Validation. That's the
because
word.
I have an iPhone. Because I've got Jordan sneakers. No, because that doesn't matter. I've heard people say that won't matter in heaven. That won't matter.
They will not matter in heaven.
Exactly. That is a kind of a perception you need to have over everything. Be at a point where you know yourself. Know when this is just too much for you. People don't know.
Oh yeah.
When they said you people perish because of lack of knowledge. Sometimes the knowledge you don't have is the knowledge of ourselves. This is it's very dangerous. When you don't, it's like you don't have a torch, and then you're telling somebody who has a torch, or maybe who also thinks that they have a torch, and you are following them. It's like two blind people following each other and saying to end up market. It won't work out. So a lot of us don't know ourselves, and we are going through circles of our lives that are it's just endless drama. This relationship, no, you are not, your face is just you are too dark for me, so you change and start doing jaribu and everything. The next person you meet is still, you are too light. Now you want to go back it's not working.
Oh yeah. I really love that you've brought out the issue of validation.
Exactly.
And I think this has been my passion or my heartbeat of late. Especially for ladies, because we are more of victims. I think men don't really care how they look. Okay, we have a
We
bit-
do or we don't care?
No. You would find a few that are so obsessed
Mhm.
with their looks. They would want to chase after the trending haircuts
Yeah.
and everything. Men are fine with
Yeah.
getting a bath, dressing up, and applying lotion to the visible parts.
Mhm.
But a woman will spend her time and they will have 3-4 concoctions mixed together and then they do that. So as a young person, and this one is for ladies, identity is very important.
Very important.
What are you identified by? Where do you get your validation from?
Exactly.
Where do you get your satisfaction from? Is it when people tell you, you look good, you are beautiful, you are this, and then you feel like you're good to go, you're good to pursue your dreams? Somebody once said, be who you are, and the right people will love you just the way you are.
Very true.
Because how many times, just like you mentioned, how many times are you going to switch like a chameleon to suit the
What are you
environment?
doing? What are you doing?
Be you, and you will find environments that suit you. And there you can shine.
Exactly.
So just this morning, just as I was preparing for the show, thinking about the topic today and everything, there's just something good that came into my mind. Yeah, I let me talk a little bit about myself. I rarely do that, but
Please do.
yes. I just realized that when it comes to my talents and giftings, I think God has really helped me to focus on the positive sides, on my strengths. I have had insecurities, I think, from the time I was young, but there are things I have not mentioned or projected before people, because I don't want people to focus on that. So for me, I know, okay, I think I'm good with public speaking. I like to speak to people. I love to sing before people. I can talk before people. I can do whatever. I put my insecurities aside because I know this is what God has put in me, and God is going to use what he has put in you to elevate you. So if you begin to admire and chase after that one, then you realize it's not even in you. You were just admiring it because it's in another person. Then you come back. Again, you see somebody that you want to chase after. You want to become them. You realize you can't because those things are not in you. You will spend your whole life stressed, disappointed, hating yourself, and eventually having a mental breakdown because you feel like, how come my friends are making it and I am not? Are you really pursuing what God put in you, or you're busy trying to change yourself to please those around you, to suit the environment? So if you take away anything from the show today, I think all these mental issues that we have, if we came to a place where we go back to the Creator. So somebody once gave an example of like different machineries that we use. So I'll get an example of a stove. So when you buy a stove, it comes with a manual.
Exactly.
So it will tell you which connections to make, how to use it, where to be cautious, and everything. Our lives, people may say we don't have a manual, but God, the one who created us, I think has given us a manual through his word. And when you stick to that, you will really know that you cannot keep chasing after things in life. And test me on this one. In this new month, try to go by what God has spoken when it comes to relationships, when it comes to choices that you make, when it comes to decisions, and you will find that you'll be happy. Most of the things that break us come in when you try to go outside what God has for you. It will break you and it will tear you apart. One other thing that I think I thank God for is the ability to hold yourself when you're around people that have more than what you have, and you can remain yourself. People will mock you. Your car is small. We have big machines. Is this the phone you use? And it will break you. That very moment, your face will change and everything around you will be showing, I am not good enough. I am not there. If you train yourself to be content with where you are and what you have, while you strive to become better by working hard and using the right means. Life will become very easy. Otherwise, these things that we chase after, they break us more than they build us.
Very true.
And we are surrounded by young people who are so depressed, because depression is one of the signs of mental health breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
You sit down, you're only 18, and you're beating yourself about somebody who has a car. What do you need a car for at 18 years when you don't know the cost of servicing and everything around it? Just after things that will build you and make you become better. And of course, that is by using the right means.
That's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true. You've brought out a very, very enlightening sentiment where it all goes back to who created you and why they created you.
Mm-hmm.
It's very funny,
Mm-hmm.
but when you go to a factory, whatever it is that they are producing, they're producing it for a specific purpose.
Wow.
That is what we need to understand about ourselves.
That is good.
You are not meant to be multitasked. You are meant for a purpose,
Mhm.
just a purpose. The day you find that purpose, you fulfill it, then you would have lived your whole life. But before you find that, you will spend your whole life wasting time.
Mm-hmm.
You spend your whole life depressed. There are people that have just never been happy. You don't know what happiness is.
Yeah.
But you are always posting, no, I'm in Dubai, no, you're not happy. That's mental. You've got a mental health breakdown. And people think, when I was saying people seek for external thing to validate themselves,
Mhm.
we are always thinking you are living your best life when you are posting things. And when you not just posting things,
Mhm.
you are living a better life when you are posting things and people are liking your things and people are commenting good things. Then
That's
you
when you
think,
feel, I am
living life.
I'm living life.
But the truth is this.
Mhm.
You go through all the stress thinking, okay, which car am I going to pose with next? You don't even sleep just for a photo. Imagine. Just to go and capture a photo. You stressed the whole year to just go and capture one photo
One photo
that
to
Mape should
impress.
say, oh, Clarence, you look nice. Imagine, just see how big our mental health is being disturbed.
True.
It's very, very, it's reached at a very larger extent, and not even some time. Most of these times you don't realize.
Oh yeah.
When you're doing something that you have to stress about, that you have to put in everything, and at the end of it you're gaining little, please just stop.
Yeah.
It's not okay for your mental health. I want to talk about the other thing where you're always the one to give out. There are people that there are people that will just never be enough for them. Please accept this and leave those things. There are people you'll never be enough for. These are people that you are always wanting to prove to.
And please.
And you are literally out of your way. You can do any
impress.
just to impress them. But then you understand that 90% of your life, of the life that you lived, people never really even noticed you. Do you know that?
I'm telling you.
90% of your whole lifespan, 90% of whatever it is that you do, people don't even notice.
They don't.
And you are there trying to force things. You're there trying to force relationships. You are there trying to force conversations. You are there trying to force everything to just happen. Stop.
It's killing
It's
your mental
killing you.
health. It's affecting your mental health.
People are depressed. People are stressed because they are always wanting to live a validative life. You want to say, because they said I looked good. That looking good, not that that looking good, you're going to carry it on your head and say, no, it's a trophy. No, it's just somebody else.
Yeah.
You live today. There's a relationship now because you broke up. You want to do anything possible to make sure that your ex-partner notices that you're living happy,
I actually
even when you're not living happy.
I came across something on social media that relates to what you have mentioned. So this person says, when I'm you know how random guys will meet ladies and say, hi, how are you, can I have your number? So this person says, every time a guy approaches me to ask for my number, I give them my ex's number so that he knows that it's happening this side. I think that is a serious indication of mental health
breakdown.
issues happening there. You live your whole life to prove a point to that person that left you, that there are guys asking for my number. So guys asking for your number, what does that tell you? Is that what gives you validation in life? Is that what tells you you are somebody and you are going somewhere?
This is really, really big. You know,
It
and
is.
you need to understand something. People that left you don't really care. This is just the sad truth. You know, they don't care. Like they don't care. They don't care.
We don't. Don't
I know, but people don't care. So
true.
a lot of us have lost ourselves. You know, one thing that we should really, really be focusing on is finding who we are.
That is the most important.
The very day you find who you are, the very day you are true to who you are, then you live the most happiest life even without social media.
You know what I've learned. Okay, just before I come in, let me just appreciate people that are tuned in to T Vibes. Mutale Mlenga, all the way from Lusaka, says true. I'm sure she agrees with what we have been talking about here. And then Apostle Innocent Wino says following. We miss T Vibes. We're back. We're here. Free therapy on T Vibes. Thank you so much. And Fred Schuper, thank you so much for being tuned into T Vibes. We are talking mental health. It's a discussion that we are having today with Clarence, just to make us aware that this issue is serious amongst us. It's affecting everyone in different ways. But we cannot just let it slide and give it a blind eye. There is something that we can do about it. We have talked about what mental health is, and also how the environment can affect our mental health. So maybe now we can dive into signs, because people need to be aware. So maybe somebody may not even realize that what they are going through is affecting them in a certain way. Yeah. So let's talk about just briefly a few signs of mental health breakdown, or where mental health is not really at its best, the right place.
Okay, so I think the first thing I would love to say is the first signs are within yourselves. So when you're feeling low, or when you're not just feeling yourself, that's a sign of mental health breakdown. Somebody was just laughing just 2 minutes ago, and then boom, without just shifts, and you know,
It's like
like people just switch and just
switch
change. You know,
yeah.
you realize there's something really, really wrong. When you're an extrovert, you're always socializing, but then from nowhere you just dwindled. Now you're shackled, and you get to know that there is something going on. And also, just when when this is very funny, but when you're always wanting to prove a point to people, know that there's something wrong there. Especially when you've not proved anything to yourself, but you're trying to prove everything to others. There's everything wrong there. Those are signs of mental health breakdown.
I think we can also talk about how you are performing. So it can be at school, it can be at work, it can be in your business, it can be in your home. So we all have responsibilities around things that we do on a daily basis. So you can actually weigh yourself. You say, no, for me, it was like every morning when I wake up, I'll do a bit of jogging or keep fit exercises within the house, and then I'll have prayer time, maybe read a scripture at the start of the day, and I'll be good to go for the day. But when you are going through stuff, you even find yourself oversleeping a bit. You are so reluctant even to come out of bed. You are not even looking forward to the day that is ahead of you. Those are very serious signs of mental health breakdown. So you really need to study yourself and say, how am I performing in all the things that I'm assigned to do daily.
Yeah.
In the remaining minutes of the program, I want us to talk about how the church can be a safe place for people with mental health issues, because people have lost trust in
Yeah.
people. And this includes some people that are church leaders, people that we are supposed to run to and look up to. Remember, in the beginning, we said sometimes we run to the wrong
The
people,
wrong people.
and they just finish us off instead
True.
of helping us. Yeah.
Before I talk about how the church can come in to help the issues with mental health, I want to talk about how the church has contributed to mental health.
Oh, wow. Yes.
Do you know,
yes.
we have had a generation of people thinking they are all called by God. Very wrong. It's not everyone, please. Let's just get this straight. You know, I've seen young people, young men, they literally forsake whatever it is that they are doing in their lives, and they just start going to the mountain after mountain. 2 days later, they are prophesying. That's not you, man. Stop it.
Wow.
Everybody wants to be everyone wants to be a pastor. It's not everyone. Some of you are just meant to be good members and paying tithe and giving offerings. That's all.
Wow.
And a lot of us are stressed. You see latest fashion nanguni church because the pastor dressed like this, or maybe the person you are following is dressing like this, but in a shade japa. Everyone, they've got permed hair. Everyone, stress already. Mental health at its level best. So please, let's learn to accept and just live within our means. How the church can actually help people with mental health, let's be very open. You know, we understand these are spiritual things, because when you're going through stress, other people will tell you they are demons. You know, they'll tell you, no, there's something. But let's be, I think even pastors or maybe church leaders, let's also learn and understand that these might just be mental health issues. And let's be at a point where when, you know, people when you're maybe in the church circles, they trust you with their information. Be that person who gets to keep that, and pray for them. If you cannot do anything about their issue, don't go around and talk about it. You know, the only way the only place you're supposed to talk about to is when you're doing your prayers.
Oh, yeah.
Because these people have trusted you with issues that are affecting them, issues that are burdening them. And if they're going to hear it, today I came to you, sister, I said, no, this is what I'm going through. On Sunday, you're the one preaching. And then the same one is me. It won't help me.
Even if
more.
people don't know,
Yes.
that is just the fact that I
Yes.
had opened up to you and I become part of your sermon.
No, there are people in this church that they are doing A, B, C. Did I say you start preaching about me? Yeah, so all those things are affecting us. So people in the church, let's learn to be people that are reliable. And the fact that somebody comes to you with something burning, just be there to listen and be there to help in a way you can, not where you start, you know, putting their problems out there, and it just doesn't help.
So true. A church, people have referred it to as a hospital, but we know a hospital has different departments.
Yeah.
Others it's sight, others it's their hearing, others it's their internal, organs not functioning well. So when we come together, we are all people that have struggles.
True.
Areas where we need somebody to hold our hand and walk us through whatever we are going through. And if we take mental health issues seriously, we realize that even those of us in the church are not spared. You notice somebody missing choir, they have been missing church of late. Don't go so hard on them. After God answered you, stop church. Find out what is really going on, and genuinely pray with them and walk with them. And even just away from church, if you are a person that people easily run to and open up to, let's help each other to keep our mental health in the right place and state by being there for each other, because everyone out there is going through something, and all they want to hear is, I am here for you anytime and I will pray for you. Sure. So we hope the program has been informative, educative, and very helpful to somebody out there. This has been Tea Vibes. This has been Lungu.
And of course, I've been Clarence. Thank you very much for having me.
I think it's been interesting. I invite you to come back next week.
Hope I'm not behind the cameras.
Yeah, but it's been great. And on behalf of the producer, Mr. Bernard Gani, on behalf of Sunshine Studios, thank you so much for joining us. See you same place, same time. Free therapy. This has been Therapeutic Vibes on a Tuesday. God bless.
Tea Vibes every Tuesday at 18 hours. Join the amazing Lungu as she hosts different guests on the show and talks about cross-cutting issues that capture both a youthful and older audience. So be part of the fun as we bring you heated topics